Okay, here we are, superheroes on 3.5, solving for markup and markdown problems. This should be right up the alley of all our young ladies out there because this is shopping 101. You're looking for a deal. Okay, so if I take a look at this particular problem, we got Claire subscribing to a music streaming service for a yearly fee of 96 bucks. Starting next month, there's going to be a 12% increase in the fee. And then the ad for another music streaming series is shown below. Which one should she switch to? All right. So you need to grab a calculator out there. Hold on just a sec. I forgot my calculator. All right. So if I grab my calculator out there, in essence, what we're looking at here is you could say we're going to have a 12% increase in the fee. 12% increase in the fee. Now, a couple ways that you could look at this. You could say, all right, well, 100% of 96 is 96. So that means that the cost of if you took 100% plus 12%, you're going to get 112%. Okay? And so if I take my 112% and I multiply it by 96, that's going to basically be my new price. So I go 1.12 times 96. My new price is now going to be $107.52. Pretty significant jump. All right? The other one is $875 a month. $875 a month. Which should Claire switch, yes or no? So if I take a look at that, that's a yearly fee. So if I take this divided by 12, 107.52 divided by 12, that means that it's going to be $8.96 a month. Okay, $8.96 a month. This one's $8.75 a month. Your call there. Is it worth changing things over? Have somebody come into your house for 21 cents a month? For some people it would be, for other people it would not. All right. Let's go ahead and erase that and move on to our first set of example problems in the next page. All right, so cell phones. Again, this is right up you guys' alley at your age. So markup represents the amount of increase from the cost of the item to its selling price. Cost of the item to the selling price. Obviously, that's going to be a key player that you know what that means. And the markup related to is a percent of increase is called a percent of markup. So again, as we talked about before, they're big into drawing these bars or these blocks to represent the situation. So in this situation, you can see that we have a cell phone at $720, and the selling price is $11.25 each. So somebody buys a cell phone for $720 and then turns around and sells it for $11.25 each. You may want to know what the percent markup is. So if we're representing 100% as our $720 and our markup goes up to $11.25, the first thing we have to identify is how much is the markup. So we're going to obviously subtract $11.25 minus $720 in order to get that, to get our $405. So our 405, here's what you probably want to know. Here's the math Bible verse for today. Markup equals the percent of markup times the cost. And this should look very familiar to you because it's just like the percent of error and percent of increase problems that we did in the previous section. So in this particular situation, we're at 405 equaling that P equals P times $7.20. And so if we divide, in order to get P by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 720. You can see we're at 0.5625, and that is a percent, or that is a decimal. We have to move over 2 places to the right. So we're at approximately 56% markup on that cell phone case. 56% markup on that cell phone case, which in the real world scheme of things is not uncommon. All right, believe it or not uncommon. Obviously, they have to mark it up in order to make some money. So let's scroll down, take a look at the try it piece. What is the percent of markup on a $300 phone sold for $465? So here you go with the phone, 300 bucks representing the 100%, 465 representing the additional percent. So in this case, 465 minus 300 is going to be 165. So that means that the markup is $165. Okay, $165. In other words, what we did to get this is we took 465 minus 300. All right. We slide over here, the markup, we're going to take this 165, we're going to put it right here into our equation. Our equation again that you're going to want to write down or be very clear at, I put that at the top of your note paper or your homework paper. Markup equal the percent markup times the cost. We're going to divide both sides by 300. And when we do so, 165 divided by 300 is going to be a decimal. And that puts it at 0.55, which is, move it over 2 places to the right, 55% markup on that phone. 55% markup on the phone. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our example number 2. Hopefully it's feeling a little bit comfortable, but again, this has some real life implications, because everybody I don't care who you are, this is going to be things that you're going to have to be, adept at as you become an adult. Local furniture store pays $110 for the chest of drawers and sells it with a 40% markup. What's the selling price of the chest of drawers? So in this case, they're obviously giving you a little bit different information. They are in fact giving you the original price that the store pays, which is $110. And once they buy it, then they're going to turn around and put it on their floor for a 40% markup so that they can make money on the deal. So again, if you take a look at the formula for the equation, and you are now plugging in the same things that you are looking for the markup in this situation. The percent markup is 40%, which they're changing to a decimal. Great idea. And then the cost that they paid to get the chest of drawers, which is 110. So if you multiply those together, you get 44. That means the markup is $144. So if the markup is $144, if the markup is $44, then they're going to turn around and sell it, and the price tag on that chest of drawers is going to be the cost that they paid for it, 110 plus the 44, totaling $154. Take a look at our try it piece here. What's the selling price for a $45 pair of shoes with a 15% markup? All right, $45 pair of shoes with a 15% markup. So here's our key players. Once again, we're going to take a look at this equation up here. Markup equal the percent markup times the cost. So in this case, if we plug in what we know it's a 15% markup. So we're going to change 15% to a decimal by sliding it over 2 places to the left and or dividing it by 100. And then the cost was $45. So when I take 0.15 times 45, my result is $6.75. We're going to mark the shoes up $6.75. So in order to get the selling price, you're going to take the $45 that you purchased them for, and you being the store purchased them for, you're going to mark it up $6.75 so that you can turn around and make some money on it. So the overall final cost that you're going to sell it for then is going to be $51.75. Okay. Again, good examples right there on how stores like JCPenney, Sam's Club, whoever you're talking about, make money. I got a nephew who does stuff on eBay. That's exactly what he does. He goes and buys something somewhere for cheap, turns around, marks the price up, puts it on eBay, and sells it for a profit. Taking a look at what we got right here. Edward wants to buy a snowboard that's on sale. The sales tax in Edward's state is 7.5%. How much is he going to pay for the snowboard? Okay, so this is a markdown kind of problem. We're going to emphasize markdown. We're going to also emphasize sales tax, which everybody is going to be involved with that as well. So markdown is the decrease from the original price of the item to its sale price, which you can see right here by its definition. And then we're going to talk about the percent of markdown being the percent of decrease type problem from the original price. So in this particular situation, he wants to buy a snowboard on sale. Sales tax, how much is he going to pay for the snowboard? Please note the snowboard is 30% off the original price. All right. So if you take 180%, and again, here's the math Bible verse in the markdown form, very similar to what we just did with the markup form. And so what do we know? We know it's going to be a 30% markdown, so they're going to change that to a decimal, as you see right here. And the original cost was $180. So if we take 0.30 or 0.3 times 180, you're going to get $54. What's the $54 represent? It represents the markdown. So that means we're going to take that $180 that it was, subtract 54 from that, and you can see we're going to end up at $126. This, if you're a woman, is really for what you're interested in. And again, guys too, if you're into shopping, but this is what you're interested in. You got a deal here. It was a $180 item, and you paid $126 for it. So very smart move. But you then have sales tax on top of that. So you can see here, the next little piece, that the sales tax is going to be the sale price times the percent. So the sale price is 126. We're going to take that 126, we're going to multiply it by the sales tax percent, and that is 7.5%, which is pretty realistic. Move the decimal 2 places to the left, and so they change it to a decimal, 0.075, and then you're going to take that 0.075, multiply by 126, and S, the sales tax is going to be $9.45. So the cost of the snowboard is 126 plus the sales tax, and a lot of times it'll say right out here, plus tax is $9.45. Okay? Well, there will be zeros right here if you need them, but the final cost with tax is going to be what? 135.45. Okay? All right, I'm going to pause there and take a look at this try it piece. Actually, let's not pause. Let's go ahead and go to the try it piece and see where we stand. We're at about 11 minutes here on the clock, so 5% markdown for an $80 jacket, and it's on sale for $48. Okay, on sale for $48. So if you would take this formula, markdown, you already know what the markdown is, or do you? No, you know what it's on sale for, and you know what it costs. So you're going to have to figure out the markdown is going to be, it went from $80 to $48. How much did they mark it down? Well, I believe that's going to be, what, $32? So I'm now going to take this $32, that's the markdown, and I'm going to put it into this equation. So it's 32 equal the percent markdown you didn't know, and the original price they said was $80. Okay, so in essence you could almost say this is X. You can see in order to get X by itself, you're going to divide both sides by 80. That goes by, X is going to equal 32 divided by 80 is going to be 0.4. Now remember, that's in decimal form. So you have to change that to a percent by moving over 2 places to the right. So as a percentage, it was a 40% markdown. Okay, 40% markdown in that particular product. Questions? Again, if you got some questions, please feel free to email me with any issues that you might have. Hey, code word for today. Code word for today. What do we want to go with? How about we go with parent-teacher conference? Parent-teacher conference. That's when I'm making this video, is during parent-teacher conferences. We're on a little break here right now. All right, moving on to my next page. On my next page, again, we always want you to kind of pay attention to that key concept. That's great to read over. They show you the market situation on the left. They show you the key Bible verse, I call it, right here for markup. And it's very similar for the situation with the markdown. And we also had a situation there where we showed tax as well. All right, so we're going to take a look at this pair of sandals, it looks like, or mandals. An item costs $4 before tax and $4.32 after sales tax. What is the sales tax rate? Okay, what is the sales tax rate? So in this particular situation, we're taking a look at this. It was $4 before tax and 32 cents at $4.32 after tax. So we know that the markup, in this case, you'd almost say the tax, the sales tax was, the sales tax equals the rate, sales tax rate, times, wait a second. So basically what I would do here is I would take 432 minus 4, which is 32, all right? And I'm going to divide that then by my $4, okay? So this would represent, in essence, how much it went up and that would be, the $4 would be representing the original cost. So if you took 0.32, divided it by 4, you're going to get 0.08, 0.08 as a decimal, and you're going to change that to a percent, and so the percent then is 8%, okay, 8%. Questions? So again, you took 432, in order to get this number, you took 432 minus 4, after tax, before tax, in essence. Let's roll down to number 5, take a look at what Sheila's got going on. She's going to buy 2 concert tickets here for a friend. She's going to pay $90 for the 2 tickets. She looks at those tickets and sees that each ticket has a face value of $52.50. How much of the markdown did her friend give Sheila? Okay? So, she looks at the tickets and sees each ticket has a face value of $52.50. She's going to pay $90 for 2 of them, so that means you need to be thinking, hey, that's $45 for one. Okay, $45 for 1 ticket. So again, we could look at this and say, if you recall, it was what? And we can scroll up to the top just to see this. The markdown equal percent markdown times the original value. So markdown equals, what do we say? Percent markdown, percent down times original value, which we'll call OV. So the original value would have been $52.50. She gets them for 45. So we have to say $52.50 minus the 45 to see how much she dropped the price. I believe that's going to be $7.50 if you subtract that out. So the markdown, guys, is going to be $7.50. And the percent down is really what you're looking for. So X times $52.50 equals $7.50. We're to divide both sides by my $52.50 to get rid of it. Gone. Same thing over here. Divide by $52.50. That would be gone. So if I take 7.50, 7.5, divided by 52.5, my result should be, ooh, that's ugly, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 14%, okay? So 0.142857, blah, 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 so it's about 14% would be my markdown, okay? Part B says, what was the percent markdown around this in the nearest whole percent? I guess that's the already answered that question, so that's the percent markdown to the nearest whole percent. How much of markdown did you receive? That question would have been the $52.50 minus the 45, which this answer would have been my $7.50. Okay? All right, hey, I could do number 6 here, but I just wanted to point out to you guys that we found this website, and this website's called Quizzes. All right, Quizzes. So you might want to look into this because I think it would do a good job of maybe allowing us to, now again, you'd have to get in with like a Facebook or a Google website or a Gmail, should I say. And all I did was I typed in, again, I'm a member or what have you, and I simply typed in what we're talking about. So if I went markup and markdown, you would have the ability to create these. Now, we'll be doing some more of these in class, but like, for example, I'm going to pick this one, and you can see some of the questions that it has. Again, if I make this a little bit bigger, you would actually hit start a live quiz, something like this, or assign homework, okay? But just to show you how it would work is if we enlarge this, I guess is what I want to do, so you can at least see the line of questioning. So if I enlarge this and then drag it down, here's an example of what we're talking about. Notebook on sale for $1.50, 20% markup. What's the sale amount? Well, obviously the sale amount cannot be, there's no way you could possibly tell me that it's 30 cents because it's a markup. It's got to be bigger than $1.50. And it obviously isn't going to go clear up to $4.80. That's over tripling it. So my answer there would be my $1.80 in that particular situation, okay? So again, it would show you, and for us, it's kind of a competitive thing in the classroom because we're kind of competing against each other as we do that particular thing. But I just want to introduce that to you. Might want to take a look at that. If you have any questions about it, and maybe I'll even include you guys in some of our quizzes that we do here, because I can set it up where you have the entire day to kind of get to that point. So just thought I'd introduce that to you. Hey, you guys have a great day and a great weekend. Bye.